witnessed the evolution of technology. And with this evolving technology, we all have seen the ways of marketing evolving as well. One such type of marketing is digital marketing, which has come into prominence with the evolution of internet and its usage. We see many people wanting to use digital marketing to market their products, and at the same time, we see many people wanting to make a career in digital marketing. That is why Great Learning brings you this course where we'll be introduced to digital marketing and get into the details of how you can actually go ahead and implement digital marketing. So let us go ahead and get started. So the first topic that we are going to cover is, what is digital marketing? So when we talk about digital marketing, the very definition is fairly simple and straightforward. It says that the use of electronic medium or digital media, or in simple words, the use of internet to market your products for business is called as digital marketing. And that's fairly true. I mean, when you talk about digital marketing, it is nothing but use of your digital media, be it your different social media handles, right? Different social media platforms, be it using some websites, some portals where you can put forth your content or stuff to market particular products. All these fall under your digital marketing domain. Okay, so in simple words, that is what digital marketing is. It is nothing but the use of electronic media or digital media or the internet, in simple words, to market a particular product. Okay, what are the important things that one need to know when they are actually planning to go ahead and implement digital marketing? Well, it is the ability to understand your customers as to what are the things that those customers would be wanting when you market a particular product. And the other one is to try to reach out to them online. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's assume that you are an artist. You create paintings. Okay, so you're planning to sell your paintings, and for that you need to market them. Now, given the fact, or let's assume that your budget constraints are lesser, okay, and you want to still ensure that you reach out to masses. Okay, so the first thing that you need to figure out is, what is your targeted audience? What kind of audience are you trying to target, right? So when you say you're selling paintings, right, it could mostly be people who are in the age of 25 to 45 or 50, even more. But I have a reasoning behind this. Might not be completely true, but you'll find the major sample size of audience in this age group. The reason for that is, when you talk about buying painting, you're looking at people who are mostly in that age of their life where they can buy stuff, right? And even people who've just gotten married, or maybe people who have set their homes in place and they're looking to decorate it, they would also want to buy. Again, the age group of mostly 25 to 40, 45, right? You cannot expect smaller kids to go ahead and buy these paintings, right? But this is just a hypothesis. Again, there could be outliers, there could be exceptions. I'm just giving you an example. So it is very important to understand what kind of audience are you trying to target. The other points that you need to consider is, when you are targeting this audience, you also consider quite a few other factors, not just the age, like what their location could be, right? So let's assume that you want to sell your products in a particular region, because that could be certain limitation that you have. You might not have a reach to reach wide audience. In that case, you could be marketing it for a particular city, right? To give you an example, let's assume that you're based in New York. So it would be easier for you to sell your products in New York if you are an early starter, right? So again, it depends upon what kind of product are you trying to sell, who are you trying to sell it to, who are you trying to market it to, right? So that is why when you do digital marketing, an important aspect is you understand your customers, understand their need, and accordingly you come to the next point. You've strategized certain things so you can reach out to these people online. Now, when you're talking about digital marketing, you're using digital media to reach out to these people. As we move further into discussions, I would be elaborating on these pointers in quite a lot of detail. So some of these pointers would make a lot more sense to you people. Okay. But for now, I hope the basic definition and the idea is clear to you people. When you talk about digital marketing, it is a way to market a particular product or even an idea to people by using digital media or online media, right? So that is what digital marketing is. As we move further, we'll be talking about quite a few other things that concern digital marketing. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other pointers, right? So again, when you talk about digital marketing, I mean, there could be quite a few of you who might wonder, right? As in, what are the numbers that support the popularity of digital marketing these days, right? So let me give you certain numbers. Okay, there are 2 million likes on Facebook. I'll give you the duration as we move further. Okay, 2 million likes on Facebook. Okay, there are 600 websites launched in the same time. There are about 20 million emails that go out and around 2 lakh number of sales happening. And guys, all of these things are happening parallelly across the globe in just a minute. Yes, in a minute, you see around 1.8 to 2 million likes on Facebook. These many people like certain stuff on Facebook. There are like around 600 websites that are in place or put in place in a minute around the globe. Around 20 million emails being sent to people across the globe and around 2 lakhs sale happening in a minute. This could even be more, but this is just a statistic that people have put forth. Okay, and the numbers actually increasing with time, and that is why we see digital marketing being used more. Why? Because all these numbers that we've seen are through digital media, digital platforms. That is something tells you how many people are online these days. We'll talk about that at a stretch as we move further. But this is what the emphasis is of digital marketing. And that is why digital marketing is heading in a direction that it should be. So this was about what is digital marketing and some of the numbers. Let us now understand why digital marketing. So when we talk about digital marketing, we need to understand certain scenarios that came into picture before digital marketing happened, right? And what is it that has changed digital marketing? So I'm going to talk about certain history pointers as to what are the things that influenced digital marketing with time, right? And parallelly, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to also talk about what catalyzed digital marketing in recent times, what has catalyzed digital marketing in recent times. Okay, so we'll talk about all these pointers at a stretch. So if you all are not aware about as to when digital marketing came into place, well, the history of digital marketing is not very old. The reason for that is it was in 90s that digital marketing started picking up. I mean, there were some traces that started in 90s, and that is where we actually started using digital marketing to a very great stretch, or that is where we actually started investing in digital marketing. One of the major reasons for that was in 1990s or in 1990, we had Web 1.0 that was launched. What Web 1.0 did was it allowed people to take a look at the data that was there on internet. During this time, we still did not have a lot of power to go ahead and put data there. We had power to go ahead and take a look at the data. So it was in 1990s that people realized that we could use internet, we could use online platforms to take a look at information, right? I mean, even if I go back to my school days, back then too, we did not have technology developed enough where we could go ahead and use a lot of internet. its usage was limited. But then I come from a country called as India. So, there have been other countries that have actually moved on with internet very early or earlier than we did. But we'll come to those pointers. That's not the discussion for now. For now, what we are trying to discuss is how did digital marketing evolve with time, right? Or what led to the starting of digital marketing? How did it start and what all did happen there, right? So we are talking about 1990s when we had web 1.0, right? Where you could not put forth your data there, but take a look at the data that was there. Okay. So until then, marketers were still not sure, as in, should we go for digital marketing platforms? Should we start using them? But it was around 1993 that we had our first clickable banner, okay, which was made live. And there was a company called as Hotwired that purchased these banner ads. And this is where the advertising using digital media, one of the first instances when we actually had proper investment in digital marketing, where people started using digital marketing. Okay. And it was the next year that we actually started a lot of people investing in digital marketing, right? And it was the same year, that is 1994, that we saw Yahoo. I'm sure many of you remember what Yahoo is and how it came into place. So it was around that year that we had Yahoo coming in picture, right? And then sooner we started people putting forth their websites where they could put forth their data. And this was around 1996, okay? Our favorite browser, I'm not sure if it is for you, but many people love this browser, that is our Google browser, right? It was launched, Google was launched in 1998, and I'm sure that this changed the world. 3 years before Google, we also had something called as Amazon. So guys, these are some of the things that came into picture, right? And they changed our world in a way that we all are witnessing these days. Now, currently we are in the, we would be entering into the third, or we are into the third decade of the 20th century. So we'd be soon entering into the third decade rather. So we would be actually are the best people to actually go ahead and tell how digital marketing has evolved and how things have changed. Again, we'll come to those pointers as we move further. But talking about the history, this is how it evolved. Around 1990s, we had the first web browser. Then we saw that in 1993, we had clickable ads. Mosaic was launched in 1993. 1994 saw the birth of Yahoo, which was very popular then, right? Before Google came into picture, right? And then websites like Amazon, eBay, as I mentioned, they were launched in 1995. Hotmail was launched in 1996. And this is where the internet revolutionized the usage or the method of reaching out to people, right? But again, this is when all these platforms were fairly new and were still not reachable to a lot of people. If you talk about developed countries, yes, the internet started making its waves. We had companies like Pizza Hut and Domino's selling pizzas, taking deliveries online, right? So yes, there were ways of reaching out to people digitally, but we could not cover the majority of the world back then. And there was a major reason for it. That reason was the usage of internet. Now, when you talk about internet is something that was there back then as well, but it was not reachable to the masses, right? So with the advent of Android phones in early 2000s, right? Or it was late 2000s rather, right? Around 2006, 7, 8, right? These were the times when multimedia started getting popular, right? Internet was fairly established. And then we had these Android phones coming into market where we could actually go ahead and buy stuff online. So not just buy stuff online, we could do so many things there, right? We could share images with people. We could actually go ahead and send videos to them, do video calls, right? Apart from that, we had Google Maps, which was so easily accessible on your phone now. You could look for the favorite locations that you want to go to. Then various websites came into picture, various applications came into picture. In India, you had applications like Zomato, Swiggy, which delivered food to your home, right? You had Amazon was already there. Then you had Flipkart in India, again websites that could sell products to you. And with the usage of internet increasing, they realized that the market was very large that they could cover. And when you talk about a country like India with 1 billion people living, right, if you market a product, and even if there's a chance of like selling it to what 1% of the population, it is way more than what you could be selling in other countries, right? Because we are talking about 2 countries in the world that have like 1 billion worth of population. So if you can target one of those countries, you are flourishing like anything, right? So yes, that is what companies also realized. But the main catalyst in India especially came and was in 2015 2016. This is when Reliance Jio, a mobile network, that started giving internet to people at a cheaper cost, right? So you could buy those SIM cards and do free calls and have free internet, and this was valid for 6 months. They managed to acquire major telecom industry in India during that phase, capture all the leads that they could. And what this did was, we saw millions of accounts being created on Facebook, Instagram, and there you go. A country like India was now digital in nature. You could send messages to people, right? You could reach out to people. You could call them using these internet services. And the fact that internet was cheaper, people started using internet. And this is where businesses in India realized that they could actually go ahead and potentially utilize digital media. Now, as I've mentioned already, these things were developed or had access in developed countries earlier. So they had a fair bit of share in digital marketing earlier. But in India especially, it was around 2016 that we saw digital marketing getting catalyzed to a very great extent. And currently, we live in an era where digital marketing is a must. And there are so many things that we can do using digital marketing, which are very important. I've given you an example, right? I mean, we talked about the artist thing, but there are quite a few other things that you can do with digital marketing. As we move further, we would be discussing that along the course of time. Just the fact that if you talk about digital marketing like 10 years back from now, the resources were limited that we had access to, and we could not do all of these things at a greater pace or at a wider scale. Now we can. Let me give you one more example to establish this claim. Okay. If you go back like 15 years back from now, when the access to internet was limited, right? So we used to believe in face-to-face buying of products, face-to-face dealing with things, right? So in order to buy a particular product, let me give you an example of my childhood. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. In order to buy a particular product, I used to visit a shop. Now I come from a town place which was not very developed, isn't or wasn't a big city where you could just visit malls and do stuff. And in those days, we did not have these malls being very trendy, right? We had our normal shops. We used to visit these bazaars in India, which are nothing but your shopping marketplaces. So in order to buy a particular piece of cloth, we used to go there. We would have certain set of shops. We would know that they would give you good stuff. We would just go to them and tell them that, okay, this is what we need. And they would present a particular set of options for us, as in, okay, these are the ones you can choose from and these would fit you best. These are the color options we have. And we used to buy those. So in those days, the marketing used to happen in a way where we had a person telling us, okay, this is the best fabric that we got. This is where we've got this fabric from, and you can buy that, right? So this was basically face-to-face marketing where people used to sell products by convincing certain things to you. The world has changed now, isn't it? I mean, if I want to buy a piece of cloth, let's assume I want to buy a blazer or a jacket, right? What I can do is I can go online and probably I can look for a variety of options. Now the market reach for me has increased. I don't have to be limited to the town that I live in, right? Why? Because in that town, probably in order to buy good clothes, I had to visit those 4 or 5 shops to choose one, and I would get limited options. To the max, if I wanted to shop, I would travel to some other place and then shop those things. Right? In India, the place where I lived in, that was close to a city called as Mumbai. So whenever we used to travel to Mumbai, we used to shop whatever we wanted, something that we did not get in our native place. But now, given the fact that we have digital marketing, I don't have to wait, or I don't have to wait for me to go to these places and get my products, right? I don't have to wait for all these things. What I do is I just fire up my systems. Maybe it can be my mobile phone, my laptop. I look for these websites where if I want to buy something, I can actually go ahead and browse it, order it, and that gets delivered to my place. Let's assume that somebody is getting married, right? In India, marriages are very high. So when I say high, I mean people invest a lot of money in marriages. People want to make it very grand. So normally what we see is people buying different stuffs from different regions. They want to have different themes. So how do you get all these things? Now let's assume that a Bengali sari is fairly popular. You won't want to go to Bengal and buy these things, right? You can just order that online these days, right? We talk about South Indian silk, which again is very popular, right? Or if you want to buy a popular lehenga that you get in Delhi, you don't always have to go to Delhi now. You can order these things online, right? Because now the world is accessible using the internet, and people can deliver products to you. You can reach out to people using internet and they will deliver products to you physically. That is how it works, right? Not just this, not just the shopping part. If you talk about sharing ideas, right? If you talk about doing your work, COVID-19 is a very good example. All of us have been working from home, and since we all have been working from home, we all have been using cloud platforms, we have been using internet to reach out to people and do numerous things that we want to. And what that means is, since we can do all these things online, we can reach out to people online, we can share information online. Even the businesses are easier to operate even though we are at home, right? We fire up our Google Meets, we fire up our Google Hangouts, and what we do is we can reach out to people using these online mediums, right? So that is what these digital media have done, and this is how digital marketing has influenced this world. So I believe by now we've talked a lot about why do we need digital marketing and how it has evolved. So how do you do digital marketing, right? So when we talk about digital marketing, we've already discussed these pointers. I've given you a use case in the first part of the course where we've talked about why, right? Ask the question, why digital marketing? So when you want to opt for digital marketing, again, you look for a problem statement as to why do you need to do this and what is the probable solution that you can find out using digital marketing. Let me give you another example here. Let's assume that you want to sell shoes. So here the first question has been answered as in why, because I want to sell shoes, right? Next question is to whom. Again, so this is where we'll study our audience. So shoes can be for anyone, right? So if there's a particular priority that you have, that okay, I want to market shoes for only this particular age group, then it could be different. But again, normally shoes are sold for all sizes and for all people. If you sell it for kids, you make it more attractive for them, right? Because small kids, we normally see that they're getting attracted to particular set of colors, particular set of figures, right? It can be some of their favorite heroes, some of their favorite cartoon characters, right? So normally for kids, we design shoes in that manner, right? So again, when you build a particular product, its building happens in that way. But if you are to market it digitally, again, all these things matter, right? Because if you are throwing in, let me give an example. If you're throwing an ad in Maharashtra, if you can throw it in Marathi, you are gonna capture public's sentiment there. So you need to have ads in other languages plus in Marathi if you are doing it in Maharashtra, so that you can attract all kinds of crowd here. So if you are doing a particular campaign in a place like Punjab, right? So if you can do something that relates to what Punjabi people can relate to, right? They often relate to butter chicken, right? Paneer is something, dal makhni is what these people are very fond of. Or at least we get to know that if you go to Punjab, this is what you'd really love there, the lassi and stuff. So normally what happens is, if there's something that you belong to a particular age group, particular demograph, right? So basically, if you belong to a particular region, so there would be certain things that you are more fond of, and if you can create digital campaigns accordingly, you have more chance of capturing that particular set of audience. Now, when you talk about Bharat Matrimony, it is an online marriage matchmaking website, right? So I've been in Maharashtra for past 4 months due to lockdown, and what I've seen is an ad coming on Marathi channels talking about Marathi matrimony. So basically, they're making matches for Marathi people, right? Marathi people looking for Marathi people. You can look out for these people on this website. So basically, that is how you capture sentiment. You understand what are you trying to market, right? There's a website called as Fizzy Goblets that sells, again, shoes. So in Maharashtra, they market the special kolas. These are nothing but the Kolhapuri chappals that they've recreated in their fancy way, and they're selling it to people. So when you sell something by the name of Kolhapuri chappal, which is popular in Maharashtra, there's a possibility that you can capture the sentiment of people here. So that is why we need to know what audience are we trying to sell a particular product to, and what platforms can you use to reach out to these people. Now, let me give you a very generic example again, right? Let's assume that you want to reach out to people and tell them that I have a grocery shop that I've opened, and I'm going to deliver goods to your product if you pay me on per delivery basis. So people would be happy. Why? Because grocery would reach out to their place. Now we already have something like Grofers and stuff in India. But what about small places, right? When you talk about small places like, again, Nasik in Maharashtra, Aurangabad in Maharashtra, or if you go to any tier 2 cities in other states, right? Now, not everybody there is so adept in using internet. Even though they are using internet these days, we don't see all the websites doing these things here. So if as an individual you want to do this business here, you need to understand what are the resources that people are using here. In tier 2 cities, not many age-old people are able to still use mobile phones. So would they be able to handle an app and order products? No. In that case, if you can just go ahead and tell them that this is our website, just write whatever you want to and upload the photo, we'll deliver those products to you at your hometown, right? So this is what your digital marketing lets you do. And as an individual, you need to understand what platform to use, how to use it, right? In some places, you would realize that people are using Snapchat a lot. If you talk about younger age, can you market something using Snapchat? Can you market something using Facebook? If you can, you are using digital marketing media to reach out to these people, right? Nowadays, we see people creating pages on Instagram, selling products. That is a way of digital marketing. And this is how you actually go ahead and do it. Now, as we move further, we'll be talking about it at a longer stretch. But that is for the next bit. For now, just let's take a look at a couple of use cases. Now, again, guys, these are not use cases that specifically focus on digital marketing. These are just two marketing campaigns that I like, or they're at least different. So they stand out for me in one way or the other, and that is why I want to share that with you. So if you talk about use cases, what you see on the screen is an image from a movie called as Ravan. If you've already guessed it, the actor is Shah Rukh Khan, and he is a Bollywood star. We all know of him, right? So this was one of the few sci-fi movies that we had in India, where you have a gaming superhero coming in, right, into the real world and There was a lot of hype for this movie. The reason for that was people were excited to see Shah Rukh Khan playing a superhero. And the other thing that happened was the way this movie was marketed. This movie was marketed so deeply, so deeply. There were ads that were thrown in, which happens, right? There were small teasers that were given to keep people excited. Um, there were famous personalities making cameos in these movies, and their teasers were also thrown out. There were merchandise, there was games that were launched, and there were some specific and beautiful songs that were released before the movie was. What this meant was they had started acquiring the market. So the whole campaign focused at marketing this movie as a brand. When this movie released, this movie bounced on the box office. This was not one of those movies that did very well. Within a week, people realized that this wasn't worth a movie to go, given the hype it had. But by the time people realized this, the movie had already made more than 100 crores, right? And the total budget for the movies was less than 100 crores. So even though the movie wasn't very good, the way it was marketed ensured that they earned a lot of profit than what they had invested. The other example here is of Toms. Now, this is how you actually go ahead and, when you talk about marketing, there are different ways to reach out to people. What Toms did was, now it is an online, it is not, I'm not saying an online, it is a US company that sells shoes. Okay. So when you talk about Toms, they had this campaign, 1 for 1. You buy a shoe pair, we would donate one. So what this did, what this captured the sentiment of people, and Tom did fairly well in that phase, Toms. So basically, these are some of the use cases. Again, not very digital marketing specific, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to bring out of it. Let's now go ahead and understand the different types of digital marketing and see how we can do digital marketing. Okay, so talking about the types, there are quite a few types of digital marketing. First and foremost, we have content marketing, where the primary focus is on content, how content can be used effectively to market a particular product. So that is what content marketing is. The other one is social media marketing. How can you use online social media platforms to reach out to people to market a particular set of product? When you talk about social media marketing, there are quite a few options that we have in social media marketing. As we get into the depths of these topics, we'll talk about each one of them at stretch. The next one is your SEO, SEM, that is search engine optimization and search engine marketing. One of them is a free way to market stuff. The other one is to pay. And when you say search engine optimization, basically the search engine terms more focus on giving you more value to your content and make it be more accessible to people, reachable to people. What it is, we'll discuss that at stretch later. Automated marketing. Now, this is a form of marketing which is more concerned towards marketing certain products in an automated manner or reaching out to people in an automated manner. The next one on our plate is affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing again is a form of marketing where you use influencers to market your ideas or your products, and they get a cut out of it or whatever share you promise them for every sale that happens. Okay. And then you have your public relations. Again, public relations, you won't exactly call it a sub branch of digital marketing, but again, it's very relatable. The reason for that is digital marketing or public relations go hand in hand, is for the fact that public relations is nothing but a way of brand building or maintaining the value of a brand or promoting a brand. So this can also be done digitally. And then you have pay-per-click, which is a subtype, or which is not a subtype, but is rather a form of SEM, that is search engine marketing. This is where you pay people for the clicks they bring in, something that we'll discuss at a stretch as we move further. So these were the types of digital marketing that we have with us. Let us now go ahead and understand each one of these one by one. Okay, the first one that we have is content marketing. So, talking about content marketing, the reason we are talking about it at first is content is centric to any form of marketing that you do, be it your digital marketing, be it your offline marketing, right? You need content. I mean, let's assume that you want to market a particular product using your newspaper. You throw in an ad, that is nothing but your content. The better you market it, the better it is for you. Okay, whether you talk about online media as well, whether you talk about your articles, whether you talk about your lists, whether you talk about journals, whatever you do, right? Be it your videos, be it your podcasts, audios, all of them will have content. And when you talk about content marketing, it is nothing but a process of creating content in a particular manner and making it more reachable to people across the globe or to your targeted audience in an effective manner. So again, when you talk about content marketing, there are phases in it, right? The first part is understanding the audience that you have. Second part is creating content accordingly, ensuring that the content is at least closest to being the best in the market. The next part is putting out that content at a right place and then ensuring that this content gets distributed to right audiences. So that is what digital marketing does for you, okay? Or content marketing rather. And when you talk about content marketing, as they say, content is the king. I've already mentioned that. It can be your videos, written articles, audios, right? Or it can even be a tweet, a song sung, etc. Right? So, as I've mentioned, we need to understand or consider quite a few factors here when you do content marketing, as in what kind of audience are you trying to reach out to and what is the best way to reach out to them. Would making a video and putting it on a platform like YouTube or any other website that you have help? Would it be nicer to write an article, right, and place it on your website, right, or maybe put out somewhere else where you feel that it would give you more traction, more attraction, right? So it depends, right? Or would it be nicer to create clips or and disseminate it, share it with people by using different platforms, right? It can be your different digital media platforms that are there that you have with you, right? So again, when you talk about content marketing, there are quite a few flavors to it, quite a few things that you can get into the details of. Just like I mentioned, when you talk about content marketing, first thing that you need to ensure is your content is of high quality. So we'll be talking about content marketing as we get into the practical part of things, where I'd give you demonstrations. How do these things work? But this is what content marketing is in a nutshell, right? It is nothing but a way of creating good content and providing it to people, or marketing it or using it for marketing certain products, right? To give you another example, right? When you want to buy a particular product, what do? You look for reviews for that product, right? So one of the ways to do that is, let's assume that you want to buy a mobile phone. You have a certain set of budget. What would you do? Best mobile phones. Let's assume you are in the year 2020. So best mobile phones in 2020. Under, you have a particular price bracket, a number of dollars or a number of rupees or whatever the currency that you belong to. That is how you browse stuff, right? And then you get suggestions. What are these suggestions? If you do it in your browser like Google, you'll be getting certain set of articles to start with, right? Top 10 mobile phones that you can buy and stuff. So you can go through them, compare them face to face. Now, there would be certain websites that you would want to go ahead and take a look at. Why? Because you've seen content from those websites and you find those more reliable. So you'd go there and you'd think, okay, this person gives me good reviews always for this particular product, whatever I'm buying. I'll go ahead and see. So you'll get the comparison just like you want. And once you have that comparison, you go ahead and take your decisions. Same as with video content as well, right? When you talk about YouTube, we look for things that we can look answers for, right? what is the best programming language that I can learn in 2020? I YouTube it and then I get suggestions. It can be anything. It can be a JavaScript, Python. I mean, I'm not aware about the best ones in the market. I'm just giving you an example. So you get list of all these things. So there are certain videos that make more essence out of it, right? They'll ensure that that all things are detailed properly. They're not too lengthy enough for people to get bored, right? So when you create content, you have to ensure that you consider all these factors and then you create content accordingly. Once the content is created, optimized, you also have to ensure that you socially disseminate this content. So when you say social dissemination of content, that means you should be able to share this content with people so it reaches out to people. We'll elaborate on these pointers when we talk about the SEO, SEM part of things. But I believe by now, the basic idea as to what content marketing is should be clear to you people. So the next thing that we would be talking about is SEO, SEM. So when you say SEO, it stands for search engine optimization. And when you talk about SEM, it stands for search engine marketing. Let's now go ahead and understand these at a stretch. Let's understand what do these things do as well. So when you talk about search engine optimization and search engine marketing, these are some of the things that you might look answers for or look into, right? Something like, how do you make something rank? Do you want to make it rank off page or on page? Should you pay for it, right? Or should you just use some other mediums to do it, right? So there are quite a few questions that you might have and you look answers for, right? So these questions can be answered by your SEO and SEM. Okay, let's try and take a look at those one by one. Okay, so how do you make your content rank? How do you make certain thing that you're trying to market rank? I just mentioned about capturing the emotional value when I talked about you might take a look at certain review if you've liked the reviews of this person in the past, right? That is what we do. Now on YouTube, we see so many videos these days. What happens there? If you like videos from a certain person, you are more inclined towards watching videos from that person. And then even YouTube realizes and they start marketing those products to you, right? In your suggestions, in your recently viewed, you'll get those kind of videos that you've seen or you'd want to see, right? So basically what is happening here is this is where we've captured the emotional value of things, right? People tend to go back to things that they like. But what are the other ways in which you can make something rank? Let me give you another example. You've created a very good video or written a very good article. But what if it is not reachable to people? Even though it's a very good article, if I cannot access it, if I cannot see it, it's of no value to me, right? I write an article, I put it on a particular website, but when I search for that particular keyword, let's assume that I've written an article on top 10 mobiles in 2020. It's a very beautiful article. But when I search for that and this does not show up, what does that mean? That could mean that that keyword that you've actually gone ahead and searched for has a lot of volume and a lot of people have created content on that. So your content is not visible. So what do you do? I mean, it's not adding any value for you. In this case, you use something like search engine optimization that helps you rank your content at a better level or at a better place. Okay. What that means is if you have certain content and if you can perform certain practices, that would help your article or your video rank better. Now, what are those best practices? The first thing that you need to understand is where would people look for this particular content, right? So people would be looking for these type of contents on online media. It can be your browsers, right, where people search it over the web. It can be something like YouTube where people look for video content, right? So when you talk about these websites, these channels, there are certain algorithms that govern these things. Now these are not your man-made things. Even though they are man-made, they don't work on how a human brain thinks, right? I mean, it's not like you'd be sitting there and, okay, this is a good video, I'll make it rank. That is not how it works. So your algorithm is such that your machine understands the relevance of the article written or the video published. So if you write a particular article, if you write it in a particular format, and if you optimize it in that format, there are more chances that your article or your video might rank. And this process is called as search engine optimization. Now, when you talk about search engine optimization, it is a way of getting in organic traffic. That means when you say an organic traffic, this is the traffic for which you're not paying any money. You are just optimizing your article, your video in such a way that it is reachable to people. And if your content is good enough, then people are going to look at it again and again, or new people would look at it. And then your browser or your algorithm will start suggesting it to more people, so that its popularity grows. And with that's going popularity, it would start ranking on your mediums. So that is what search engine optimization does. It gives you a way to bring in more traffic to your particular set of content. Now it can be your off page and on page. So when you talk about on page, it is some of those practices that you perform on page. That means if you've written an article, there are certain practices that you'd be doing in the written content that you have that would help you optimize your article or your even your video. In case it would help you optimize it on that page, so that these practices help it rank. Apart from that, there's something called as off page. So when you say off page, so you are optimizing your content, but apart from that, there could be a possibility that you reach out to people in different forms. One of the ways is backlinking. Now when you talk about backlinking, this is where we actually go ahead and link our content, or basically have multiple links driving their traffic to our content. That tells us that this content is good, that tells others this content is good, and they would move or come to our page where they can take a look at our content. We'll talk about it as we move further. Should you pay for it? Now, let's assume that you've been doing all these best practices, but it's still not working for you. Then you can always pay for these things. This is called as paid marketing, right? SEO, search engine market, SEM rather, sorry, that is search engine marketing, where you probably throw in ads on certain keywords so that those keywords rank and they start giving you traffic. Now, when you throw in an ad and if somebody looks for that keyword, your result would appear at the top. So more chances of people clicking on it. So this is how you market a particular product, by paying for it. Okay. So again, this was about search engine optimization and search engine marketing. A part of it is pay per click, something that we discuss as we go ahead, and that is where I'll talk about search engine marketing again. Okay. Social media marketing. Now, when we talk about social media marketing, it is nothing but use of different social media, be it your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Now, there are others as well, guys. These are some popular ones that I've named. So using these social media to reach out to people. Now, you would say that this is very similar to what we do in content marketing as well. Yes, but when you talk about content marketing, it is a form of creating or practices that focus on creating good content and making it reach out to more people. And one of the media to reach out to people is using social media. Okay. So again, these are interlinked and all of these fall under digital marketing. Okay. So why social media marketing is important? We've already talked about the fact that in a minute, you would be getting around 1.8 to 2 million likes on Facebook overall across the globe, not you as an individual, across the globe. This is what we experience. So what that also means is there's a huge number of people out there that you can reach out to using these platforms, right? When you talk about political campaigns, their aim is to reach out to masses. We see these days that whenever there's an election, people dropping in voice notifications on your mobile phones, messages coming in on your mobile phones. that is a way to reach out to you people using social media, right? Using your different forms, right? WhatsApp is a very common thing that people use these days. Now it is also a social media platform, right? Facebook, you put forth something on Facebook and that becomes popular. Whenever a popular actor says something on Twitter, right, and they get, I mean, either get trolled for it or get appreciated for whatever they do, what that tells us, there's a reach for these people, right? And these platforms can help you reach to a longer audience. Now, to give you an example, recently, now there's been IPL going on in India, that is Indian Premier League, which is a cricket tournament. Sunil Gavaskar is a veteran who does commentary for the sport, right? And he happened to say something in the commentary, and that was against what people thought he should have said, and that created a lot of steam there. And we saw a lot of people commenting, saying stuff, and probably objecting to what he had said. So that happens, right? I mean, when you talk about social media, people can reach out to social media also to express their feelings, their emotions. What social media also does well is, one, reaching out to people, right? Now let's assume that you have an idea and that you want to sell it. If you can probably create your presence on a social media, maybe Facebook or Instagram, you can derive a lot of traffic, right? On YouTube, that is what happens. What happens on YouTube is basic. Now again, YouTube is a social media platform nowadays. Yes, you cannot go ahead and interact with people there, right? But yes, that happens in chats, right? But as a user, if I'm creating a video and putting out there, I am basically using this social media to reach out to people. I can express my opinions, I can do stuff there. There are certain rules there, but if used wisely, this is a very strong tool to have under your armory. So when you talk about something like YouTube, right, you can create content that you can make it to reach out to people, right? So when you talk about YouTube, I do not know about the numbers, how many people watch how much content, but it's huge. You ask yourself, how much time do you spend on YouTube every day? It's very high, I'm sure. And these are two of the most commonly searched tabs that we have in any phone or laptop, that is YouTube and Google, right? So what happens is, when you have content, you can use these platforms. Now somebody, there are quite a few YouTubers there. What they do, they have millions of followers. You put a content there and many people are going to look at it. We'll talk about the affiliate part of marketing in the further bits. But what I'm trying to say here is, you can reach out to a lot of people using these media. I'll give you one more example. Let's assume that in India, we have so much popular celebrities, right? If you talk about any celebrity who has like millions of subscribers, if they tweet something or if they comment onto something, this message goes to so many people out there. And even if like 10% out of these actually look into it, right, these can be the potential influencers or people who you've influenced rather, right, to do something. So social media can be used for these things as well. Now there's something called as negative marketing as well. I don't want to get into things of negative marketing, but what happened was, in recent times, we saw that there was something called as Cobra Post in India, who conducted quite a few raids, kind of a thing. I do not know the exact term for that, where they sting operations is the better term. So where they actually kind of disguise themselves like the politician parties, right? They are people, and they reached out to celebrities saying that, would you market these things for us? As in, can you just go ahead and say that this particular party is fairly good, right? The fact that you have millions of followers there, it would be quite beneficial. And these people were happy to do that. So basically, if they tweet something about a particular political party, there's a great chance that millions of people will follow them. Whatever they say, their opinion would matter. They could change opinions. So this was on the negative side of things, but let's talk about something positive as well. What if somebody like Virat Kohli comes and says that, okay, this particular tire company is good. So given the fact that Virat Kohli is a big brand in India, he marketing certain things would mean that people are more likely to go ahead and buy those things. Now Virat Kohli comes and says that a particular set of chips is healthy, right? These are baked, not fried. And Virat Kohli being a big fitness freak, people would tend to believe that. This is how you impact the sentiment of people. Not everybody, but majority of them would be impacted. So you can use social media to reach out to people, to convey your ideas, and you can even influence them by using influencer marketing, which again can be done by using these social media platforms. So that is what social media marketing is, using social media to reach out to people. Now there are various forms in it. I've just explained one or two, but I hope you have a gist of what social media marketing is. Let us now understand what affiliate marketing is and what automated marketing is. So I'm not going to talk a lot about automated marketing. When we talk about automated marketing, it refers to the use of software that can be used to automate certain set of basic marketing operations, and in this case, digital marketing operations. Let me give you an example. Now, when you talk about using social media for content dissemination. So to give you an example, you create an article. Now you want to share it with people. What would you do? You would go ahead and put that in different groups on your platforms like Facebook, Instagram, right? That you can take a look at this, right? And do all these things. So let's assume that this is doable on an individual level. What if you are working for a company that creates content at bulk, right? You are creating content at a bulk and you are using this content every day. I mean, you want to put out this content like every day in huge amounts. Now you want to share it with people using these social media platforms. What if I ask you to do that individually? Now, if you have to share it in Facebook, let's assume that there are 100 groups that you've joined and you have to share like 100 content every day. So instead of doing all these sharing things manually, what if you could automate this process of sharing content online? That would be easier, right? If we could have a tool, right, that could share these things in bulk. Other thing is emailers that we send to people, right? When you talk about emailers, what happens? You probably have a certain set of practice, like there are certain events that are happening and you have a huge subscriber base. Instead of sending these things to people individually, you can just go ahead and have it automated where subscribed people will get emails in bulk. That is what happens on YouTube. When you go ahead and subscribe to a particular channel, if there's a new video, you'd be notified on that particular video. So that is what automated marketing is. Now there are other aspects to it, but let's not get into the details of that for now. Let's talk about affiliate marketing. Now, Pat Flynn again is a popular businessman, is what I would call him. Okay. Who defines affiliate marketing as the process of earning a commission by promoting other people's products. Say, for example, you find a product, you like that product, you promote it to others, and you earn a piece of the profit for each sale that you make. Let's understand this with certain examples. Okay, this is a very common marketing format that people use. Now, this is where influencer marketing again comes into picture, but I will talk about some other examples here. Let's assume that on YouTube there are some popular channels, right? T-Series was the first one to reach 100 million, if I'm not wrong, right? They're like around 150 million now. PewDiePie was a very popular channel, is a very popular channel, and that I think reached 100 million second, right? So there are other channels that are following suit. So when you talk about these channels, if these channels market a particular product, they have a reach of 100 million. Now there are quite a few YouTubers who like put out a video and that gets 20 million, 40 million instantly, 10 million instantly, 4 million instantly, right? Views is what I'm talking about. So let's assume that there's this influencer or this YouTuber who creates videos, and whatever he does, he gets this much reach. in India, we have quite a few comedians or quite a few people who create wines or create videos, right? Like a BBQ wine, what his name is, Bhuvan Bam Q wines, right? BBQ wines. And then you have Ashish Chanchlani, who is also very popular with his videos, right? So we saw this video that was being created where they created a video towards electricity, and Shahid Kapoor, an Indian actor, was in it. And then we realized that they were marketing Batti Gul Meter Chalu named movie, right? So this was a way of reaching out to people by using affiliates. In affiliate marketing, you can even sell products, right? To give you an example, let's assume that we've been talking about Ashish Chanchlani, who creates these videos. Let's assume that Ashish Chanchlani says that, okay, go ahead and download this game and you can win money by playing this game. And he says that I'll be putting forth a link in my description. You can check it out there. So that link is bit.ly link or a shortened link. So each time somebody clicks on that link, and that person buys that product or downloads that app, Ashish Chanchlani gets a particular share of money from the promoter. So whoever is promoting that app will pay Ashish Chanchlani a share for that click. So this is what affiliate marketing is. And this is how you go about doing affiliate marketing. Pay-per-click. We've talked about search engine marketing. Pay-per-click is a part of it. So I've already told you that if there's an article or a video that you want to rank, but it is not reaching to masses, in that case, what you do is you go ahead and basically pay money for it. So how does this work? Let me give you another example. Okay. So when you talk about something like Google, so Google has a certain keywords that are trending and there's a lot of competition there. So what Google would say is, if you want to rank for this keyword, why don't you pay me a number of units of money for a particular click? That means if I put forth your ad and if you get like 100 clicks, pay me X rupees or X dollars for every clip, right? And I would promote your content. So that is a way of search engine marketing where your browser or your stakeholder would throw in certain ads, and for every click that they give us, we pay them based on the click. This is called as pay-per-click. I hope the idea of pay-per-click is clear to you people. Let's now go ahead and talk about public relations. So when you talk about public relations, it is a way of brand building. Now, when you talk about public relations, what happens in public relations is, let me give you another example. So let's assume that XX actress is new to the industry. Okay, now she's wanting to reach out to masses. Okay, so how does she do that? So when you're trying to build a particular actress's image, you would make her do stuff that people like, right? If people like certain things on social media, she would tweet about those things. She would say those certain things, right? I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so let's assume that in India we have this show called as Coffee with Karan, where famous personalities come in. So basically what you can also do is, we see that quite a few new launching actors and actresses, they visit that show, they have a discussion with Karan, so that since this show is very popular, we get to see that, okay, this is the upcoming actor or actresses, right? Or actress. So we tend to have an opinion about them. We tend to get to know them. So this is what a public relations officer would do for you, right? He would build an image for you. To give you another example, let's assume that you are trying to market a particular movie and you want to do it in Maharashtra. So we see that actors visiting Marathi shows, and they would come and say that we like this part of Marathi, we like this food of Maharashtra, right? So this is how you are capturing the sentiment of the people there, and your image is getting developed, right? It is getting built. So if there's an image that is bad, you can clean that image and show it to people, as in you've been good as well. You can show the other aspect of image. That is what public relations do. And we do this using online media these days, right? What XX actress has to post on her Instagram is something that is decided even by their PR agents. Now there are campaigns happening, right? And this can be applicable to products as well. If you are to launch a particular product, you would actually go ahead and market that product in a particular manner to people so that it is more reachable to them, and they would also start having an image about that product, right? Now we see white junior hat ads in India all across the globe, or in India rather, right? So they're trying to market it. Time will tell how good it is, but right now they're trying to build an image out of it, right? Similarly, if you talk about other things, right? Mahendra Singh Dhoni doing the Marathi matrimony ad. So that tells you that they are trying to basically promote Marathi matrimony, right? So this is just an example. So basically this again is a way of convincing people that you should go ahead and do this. And that is something that you can capture by using PR or public relations approach. So this is about public relations. Now let us go ahead and see what can we do practically when you talk about digital marketing. I'm going to go ahead and talk about certain SEO approaches, content marketing approaches, and YouTube marketing. So these are the things that we are going to talk about in the demo part. So let us just go ahead and switch into the browser part. So let's try and go ahead and see how we can use digital media, right, for influencing different things. So I'm going to open up a multiple tabs here, okay, and let's see what all can we do with it, okay. So I've opened multiple tabs here, and I'm going to go ahead and plan or basically show you how digital marketing works. Let's look for YouTube here, and I'm going to open Google, right, two of the very popular domains and highly used for marketing, okay. So YouTube, as you can see, there's some content here. So guys, I've opened it in incognito tab. Now, what does that mean? So when you say an incognito tab, this is where I'm not signed in. And what that does is whatever search that I do, that is not adulterated. So whatever suggestions that I would be getting is natural. This has nothing to do with what my search history was, okay. Otherwise, if you do search or something that in a particular browser that you are signed into, so it would give you suggestions based on what your search history is. So that is why this would give me an unadulterated search history, okay. So let's talk about video marketing a little, how YouTube approaches this particular problem, okay. So we talked about the top 10 programming one, okay. Let's talk about top 10 bikes in India. You see, you'd be getting certain results. This was published a year ago, right? And it has like 2.6 million views in a year. That's a fairly good amount. And there's a description that is written here saying that top 10 fastest bikes in the world 2019, right? So this is more about fastest bikes. This is about bikes in India. You see, 2 years ago, and look at the volume it has generated, 5.7 million views. Again, population in India is very high, right? So if you look for Indian things, there's more chance that you'd be getting more volume or more views for whatever you do. Let's look for, now this is an Indian dish. So paneer butter masala. So guys, again, when you look for something, you see there are quite a few suggestions. Now I'll go to the point or come to the point as to where I'm going with all these searches. I'll tell you what we are trying to do here. You see, when you look for paneer butter masala to start with, you see it gives you options that what is in Tamil, Telugu, Hebbar's kitchen. So these are some of the popular terms that people search for. And that is what YouTube is doing for you. It is suggesting that for you. Let's just say paneer butter masala. You see, an Indian dish within a year, 8 million views, right? That's a decent amount. Paneer butter masala recipe, 14 million views, 2.2 million views. So again, guys, you need to understand. So again, coming back to the point as to what we are trying to do here is, let's see that I want to create a video or write an article. I'll talk about both. Okay. I need to create a video or an article and I want to make it rank using search engine optimization. What approaches can I take? Okay. So what I showed you here was how do these or how do this interface in particular works, like the YouTube one, right? And I'll talk about it in a lot more detail, where we'll talk about how can we use this platform to market something or a particular product. Okay. So we'll understand about this. So we are talking about marketing a particular product or a particular thing using online media. Okay. So when you talk about YouTube in particular, okay, so again, it would follow the same process as you would for an article, right? So first you need to figure out what you're trying to do. Let's assume that I want to write an article on paneer butter masala. Okay. Or we'll take two keywords for now because I'm not sure about the volume, if we are going to get any volume for paneer butter masala, right? Likewise, let's assume something like cloud computing. Okay, you want to do marketing for cloud computing or top 10 bikes in India again. Okay, so we'll choose these 2 to 3 keywords and we'll accordingly make a call, right? So let's assume that one of these 3 domains I need to create an article or create a video on. So what are the approaches that you do? One, is there a search volume for what you're trying to do? If you're good at creating paneer butter masala, are people looking for this thing online? If so, creating content would make sense here. Okay, let me show you how. So guys, there are quite a few tools that are there in the market that let you basically look for keyword volume. Ahrefs is one of the paid tools that you can use. There are other tools. You have Uber Suggest, you have SEMrush. Again, these are paid ones. So guys, make sure you have a tool. There are free ones as well. So Keyword Explorer is what I would be looking at. And see, by default, it says YouTube. So if I have to create a video, I would have to look for a YouTube volume here, right? Because this is where I want it to rank. So let's say paneer butter masala. You see, there's a 19K volume. So on an average, which is still fairly low, right? In India, at least, you see 11,000 people looking for this keyword, but it is more than decent, right? Let me give you other examples. I look for cloud computing. So on YouTube, we'll get to know that around 17K people in India are looking for this keyword, and globally 36K or 1,000 people are looking for this keyword. So these are decent amount of volumes that I can create videos on, right? Top bikes. I don't think this will have volume, but it's okay, right? People still look for this keyword. At times, when you look for a volume search, there are multiple factors that go into it, right? And at times you do certain articles on your hunch as well, whether you should do it or not. So depending on that, you'd be taking this call. Let's assume that I want to go with the paneer butter masala one. Okay. So to create a YouTube video, right? You see, I need to look into quite a few factors. If I open this video, so there's an ad. Somebody has thrown in this ad here. Okay. So again, this is a paid marketing form, right? This video is doing good. So what YouTube does is it throws in an ad for Wix because Wix might have paid them for this ad. So this is again a way of marketing. And there you go. Now you've jumped into the video where this individual is showing you how to create a how to create a dish that is paneer butter masala. The things that I want you to focus here is look at the time. It's within 4 minutes that this individual has shown, right? So there are two factors that people might look at. Some who would say that if it is being shown to me in 4 minutes, it would be easier for me to make as well. So as a user, you need to understand that how much time do you want the video to be created for. Certain things can be explained in longer time. So you need to figure out these things, right? Again, what is the audience that you're trying to capture? So we know that paneer butter masala has good volume. This is also known by other names. You have paneer makhni, you have paneer recipes, right? So people would look for these kind of keywords, gravy curries, home cooking show. So basically home cooking show is the name of this channel. So that is why this is called as brand recall, okay, or brand calling, okay. So these are the keywords that she's tried optimizing, or whoever has optimized this video on these keywords. So basically, people who are looking for these 3 keywords might find this video if this is optimized further and better. You see, there's paneer butter masala, paneer makhni, and paneer recipe in the tags as well, right? Hashtags. So again, these are trending, and if you click on this, you'll be taken to some video right here. So paneer butter masala. So if you're looking for this keyword, all the videos that are relevant to this topic would be shown, right? So you can look at other videos as well. So this is how you basically market a product. The ad is back here, so I'm not going to play it. Okay. There's a description that is written here that tells you what this is about. Again, certain hashtags being used, right? And then there's a link. So if the ingredients that are being used, she's put the link here. At times it's just informative, right? To give people guidance as to where they can go. She could even be an affiliate to Amazon. That is, Amazon is paying this particular link for every click that they are getting, every shopping that has happened, right? And the details are thrown in as to what is the preparation time and all those things. And then there are again shopping details, right? In some cases, you can even add the skipping part for your video. What I mean is timestamps. Let's assume that you don't want to watch the entirety of it. Let's assume there's a Python tutorial happening and you know the basics, so you want to skip. In that case, you can click on it. Or to give you an example, let's assume that this course is uploaded somewhere. Right, so we've talked about SEO and quite a few other things. Let's assume that you don't want to learn about anything that came before SEO. So you can just click on the timestamp that says that minute so and so to SEO. So if you click on that, it would directly take you to the SEO part. So in this case, if there's a video here and SEO starts like 15 minutes in the video, and if you put a timestamp saying that SEO at 15 minutes, you'd be redirected to the 15-minute part in the video. Apart from that, there are quite a few other things, be it your end cards and all those you add, right? But that is something else. We are not going to get into the details of that. This is how you actually go ahead and optimize a YouTube video, right? There are quite a few other factors that you would learn with time, but these are the things that you consider, right? Again, what are the other things that influence people? What kind of video it is? Is it supported by good text in it, at proper places, proper instructions? Have you gone ahead and used right images? If it is not this kind of a video, what if it's a learning video? Then using right images would help, right? Even to the background, the kitchen, all those things add value when you actually go ahead and take a look at this video. So you decide the quality of the video on quite a few factors, right? So again, it would depend or vary from video to video. Now, what you see on the right hand side is called as a thumbnail. Okay. So when you say a thumbnail, it is nothing but the image that pops up with the video each time you search for a particular keyword. So depending upon the image too, you might decide whether you want to click on it or not, right? To give you an example, in this case, I see that there's paneer makhni and it is being made by some chef. His name is not there. It's there in the corner. Kunal Kapoor is the name, somewhere in the corner here. So basically what that tells me is, and it also gives you the number, lakhs of views. So it is popular is what this thumbnail is trying to tell you. And the best thing is I can see paneer makhni with a lot of cream on top of it there. So this would probably might tempt you to click, saying that, okay, this looks good. I would want to make a paneer makhni like this, or let's go back here. You see, you get to see the image and you decide, okay, this is how I want my paneer makhni or paneer butter masala to look like. And that is why a thumbnail is important. It influences people to go ahead and click on a particular video. And that is why considering all these factors is important when you optimize your video content. Let's talk about the article part of things. Let's go to the paneer makhni part now, or paneer butter masala. There's a spelling mistake there. So paneer butter masala. There you go. So when you talk about paneer butter masala again, right? You see, with YouTube, the search is a little different. With Google, it could be little different. I'll tell you why. You see, when you put forth an article on Google, now I've searched for paneer butter masala. The first article that is ranking for me is how to make paneer butter masala by Swasti's recipe. So guys, there's a question that is being asked here. Now, paneer butter masala gives you good volume. But what would people search for, right? People might search for this keyword, how to make it, right? That is what cooking is meant for. So why not write an article and give it a title saying that how to make paneer butter masala. Let's open it in a new tab and see how it has worked. You see, there's an article here. There's a proper image, right? Right at the top, you have the recipe keyword being used twice, something that people look for. Butter naan is another keyword. If you click on it, it would take you to a page and show you how to make butter naan. So guys, this is how you interlink your videos. So now naan recipe, how to make butter naan, the same individual, right? So whatever Swasti has created, right? She has interlinked them so that people might buy it, right? You see, what is paneer butter masala? Explanation. Then 3 options. You can go to palak paneer if you want to make, malai kofta if you want to make, right? So this is how he or she is driving traffic to the other pages. Preparation, right? So now the detailed instruction. Again, she used homemade paneer here. So if you want to make homemade paneer, again, the link is given here, right? Using right images at right place works wonders. You see? So there's a detailed image of everything as to how she has cooked, all the ingredients, instructions given. Now guys, the beautiful part about this article is there is use or stuffing of keywords that could all have volumes. Now all that you see in dark here, right? Jeera rice and all. So all these things are something that people search along with paneer butter masala. So either by creating articles or videos for that and linking them here, also mentioning them, what it does is it makes the article relevant for people. For somebody who's looked for butter naan might also land up on this page, right? Because what Google sees is somebody who's come on this page has moved to butter naan page for the same website. So if somebody is looking for butter naan, why not send them to this page first, right? So even that happens, and that is why this article could also rank. Now, heading says what is paneer butter masala, which again is a good keyword. Preparation, bold, nice. Why? Because this is what people would look at when they read an article. The proper bullet points that are being used. What this also suggests is if I am creating a particular dish, or if I'm creating a particular article rather in this case, sorry. So if I put forth my pointers in this manner, there are more chances that I'm gonna make people stay on my page more. Why? Because they see it relevant. If this article is written in an abstract manner where not all the information is properly given, I might not stay. And now it is very visible that 3/4 to 1 spoon of red chili powder or of garam masala, whatever it is, right? So what that tells is this gives you precision as well, right? And this shown in the image as well, that this is what you all need to do. You see how to make paneer butter masala, again recalling the keyword, right? So if you stuff this keyword here, the Google is more likely to suggest this article to people, right? Here, you see. And the benefit for Google is if more people watch it, they can throw in more ads, as you can see here in the advertisement, and they can market product here. Now, again, this video is getting recorded in Maharashtra right now. So you see the ad is in Marathi, right? This is how you brand call stuff, right? So this is just one example, people, if you can look for other things as well, right? The thing that you need to note here is title is very popular. People also searched for these keywords. Simple paneer recipes, paneer butter masala recipe in Hindi, cheese paneer masala. So if you can stuff these kind of keywords in your article, more chances of it to rank. Okay. The other one that is ranking here is paneer butter masala, quick restaurant style. Okay. So basically, again, people normally look for these kind of keywords. I want to make fried chicken, it should be KFC style. I want to make a burger, it should be McDonald's style. Want to make a pizza, it should be cheese burst Domino's style, right? So this is how you use keywords effectively. So Domino's will have high volume, pizza might have high volume, cheese burst might have high volume, and you've covered all of those in the title. More tempting for people to click on it, and it also gives them clear instructions as to what can they expect. Let me give you another example. Top 10 bikes in India in 2020. So they're talking about the best bikes in India and in 2020. So somebody who's looking for a specific information, he or she would find that article very relevant, or that video very relevant. This is how you look for keywords. Coming back to Ahrefs, we looked for paneer butter masala, right? But that was for YouTube. What if I want to search for Google. I want to write an article. Google would be a better place for me to search the volume. So let me just look for paneer butter masala. You see 65k in India alone. So basically what this tells you is writing an article would make a lot more sense for you, because it would be easier for people to look at. There are certain keywords that rank better on YouTube, certain on your browser, right? If it is written, it would rank better there. And you see there are some suggestions as well. So I had talked about using multiple keywords. So paneer butter masala recipe, how to make paneer butter masala. So these are some suggestions that you can use, and you can stuff your keywords accordingly, right? Keyword difficulty 20. That means it's not a keyword where there's a lot of content there. So it would be easier for you to rank your content. Let me give you another example. Let me search Python. Keyword difficulty is super hard. What this means is there are many articles. If you have like 835 websites linking to your article, more chances of it ranking. Otherwise it might not. Why? Because the volume is also high. That means many people are looking for this keyword, and many people are creating content because many people are looking for it. So as a digital marketer, you need to be smart in understanding these things, right? So this is how you do keyword research. Let's look for other keywords as well. I want to show you something related to ads. I want to see how these ads look like, right? That is why I'm looking for other things as well. Let's see how can we approach that thing. See guys, when I look for cloud computing, now the first article that is officially ranking is this one. Other things, these are ads. You see, there's an ad written in front of it, right? At times it could be ad written in yellow. Okay, it could be just ad. Now this changes with time. Okay, so you see www.ibm.com cloud computing. So their article might not be ranking, so they've actually thrown in an ad. At times people also throw in an ad even if their article is ranking. Let's assume that there are 2 million people taking a look at your article every month. What if you throw ads? There's a chance of you driving more traffic even if it is ranking. Okay, so that is why what we see is certain videos that do rank. You see there are 8.2 million views here. Okay, and this one has 14 million views, but this thing is still ranking first. Why? If it had more views, shouldn't this be ranking, right? But the possibility could be that this either the content was created late and it is doing very well now, and that is why it is ranking, and could be a time in a year's time it has more views than this. Or the other thing could be that the below person, which had 14 million views, is throwing in ads. So even if this is ranking, we see more people clicking on that thing and getting more views, or that particular channel is driving more views. So these are the ways in which you can optimize your video as well. This is what you need to understand. Okay, so again, coming back to the topic, you see whatever you look for, normally you get a Wikipedia suggestion because there's a lot of backlinking that is happening here. Okay, and what you see in the search results is this one is ranking. Why? One of the reasons it is ranking is it has good images used. So if you have good images in your articles and it is linked to good videos, there could be a chance that Google might make your article rank first. So I assume that by now you've understood quite a few things about how digital marketing works, or how SEO works, and how you can actually go ahead and approach a particular problem. So what we've talked about till time is how can you do keyword research? What do you need to target? What are the volumes that you need to look into? And how can you optimize your articles or videos? So ensure that you follow the best practices. And once the article or video is public, make sure it is socially shared as well. You can distribute it in different forums, different pages, and generate more views out of it. I hope that you've learned how SEO, SEM, and basic YouTube optimization works. Talking about this course, we have come to the end of this course. Let me quickly summarize all the pointers that we've talked about. So we've talked about the initiation part where we discussed what and why of digital marketing. We understood how to do digital marketing. We discussed what it is and why it became so popular and how it evolved with time. After we discussed these, we talked about the different ways in which we can do digital marketing, where we talked about different types like the SEO, we talked about SEM, content marketing, we understood what social media marketing is, pay per click is, what public relations are, automated and affiliate marketing, and quite a few other things. And then we got in the demo part where we did try and go ahead and implement some of these things practically. I hope you enjoyed this course. I hope you continue your journey of learning. Thank you.